What is up, everybody? It's Zachary Reality. Welcome back to Zachary Reality. We are here with Nicky D from Love is Blind Season 7. Was he the villain of the show? Was he the hero? We're going to find out today, chatting with Nicky D. Nicky, how are you?
I'm doing suave. I'm doing suave. Hey, really great morning. I closed on a property with some of my clients and they got their dream home. So it's a good start.
For sure. So you're doing real estate in Washington, D.C. to kind of catch everybody up.
Yeah, so I'm licensed in the DMV. For those who don't know, the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. I grew up 15, 20 minutes outside DC. That's where I currently live. And yeah, I mean, it's been a great 4 years since I've gotten into the business. So
hmm What do you think about DC? What did you think about when they were going to bring Love is Blind here and like what the show would, have to offer with like being filmed in Washington, D.C.?
yeah, I think one thing people don't know about DC is like it's very diverse. You meet a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds. But anytime I add someone on Instagram and we go through our mutuals, we got a mutual friend. So it's
Mm,
just funny. Everyone's kind of connected, but I think a lot of people, and myself included, we take for granted that DC is our backyard. There's so much tradition and history and so much to do, and sometimes you
mhm.
take for granted that it's. I mean, I can see it. I can see it right here. I can see the monument right here. It's
Mm.
just a cool place to be for sure.
I've been a few times. I really do like it a lot. It's kind of weird timing that this season is airing the same time as the election was.
Yeah.
Just a lot of DC heavy focused content this year, huh?
Yeah, I think the LA scene, the Hollywood scene, you guys got to show us on the East Coast a little bit of love. So we'll take it.
For sure. So, when you found out that they were casting in Love is Blind, how did you get on the show? How did it kind of all happen?
So my DMs got slid into. I didn't know that they were going to be in DC until I got that DM from someone who worked on the show, and um, I kind of took it as a joke, and I was like, "This is a spam. Can I talk to your manager?" And fast forward a couple months, and I was pretty deep in the process. So I didn't know they were going to be in DC, but I had seen previous seasons, and I always thought, I mean, why not? Have Love is Blind in the nation's capital. You could get so many people from different backgrounds, and it's just like I said, it's a diverse place, and so it's a perfect spot to hold Love is Blind because we don't do a great job finding love here in DC, do we?
I guess not. I mean, you had a couple of married couples from your season,
Yeah,
so there's always a couple every year. Y'all
yeah.
were okay. But I think that maybe you were like posting online about your real estate stuff, and that's how they knew to find you because you had like a public profile. Like, what do you think stood out to them?
Um, I don't know. I would say, whether it was I post a lot for real estate or they liked my style, they liked what I was doing in life, the athletic background. I went to William and Mary, which is a great college. I feel like at first maybe they saw a dude with good style and a pretty face, but once they got to interview me, like I have a lot of depth, I have a lot of character. There's so much I have to offer, and so
Mhm.
I feel like a couple interviews in, even though they didn't tell me I was on the show until 10 days before we were flying out to Hollywood,
Mm.
I feel like they kind of saw what I had to give to the experience and the show.
Mhm. And how many like seasons have you seen before?
All of them.
Oh, okay.
All of them. And yeah, I'd been a fan of the show. And so when they hit me up, I kind of knew what to expect. But going through is totally different.
How many people on the show watched the show before? Like
I would,
everybody?
I would say 75%. I'd say
Yeah.
3 out of 4.
I feel like now it's gotten so popular. How could you not know what it is? But did that not scare you a little bit? Like you really wanted to get married? That's just like so much pressure to do it so quickly.
It is. It is. I was excited, but I was also realistic. I know that for some people it does work out. Shout out the two couples. They're my
Mhm.
people. But
Mhm.
it's just like it's such a unique opportunity in life. I'm kind of a risk taker, right? So I would hate to look back in 10 years and be like, damn, I wish I would have applied. Where would I be if I would have applied to the show? And one thing you got to just, remember is it's an experiment. Like you're testing a hypothesis. A
Mhm.
lot of experiments, don't necessarily work, but that's why I was invested and why I was seeing it through till, the very end or, the very last moment because you learn so much in a day. It's pretty
Mhm.
wild.
Yeah. Switching gears a little bit, can we talk about your love square in the pod? So you were like fighting between Brittany and Hannah, right? And Leo was doing the same.
I wasn't fighting between Brittany. It was kind of a triangle between Leo, Hannah, and myself. But I did talk to Katie and Marissa pretty.
Mm,
They were my two and my three. So I did talk to them almost as long as I talked to Hannah. But it wasn't shown. I think one thing that could have provided more context was a lot of people had a lot of great conversations with people who weren't their partner or their match. And
mm,
so, it kind of seems from the outsider perspective that you're kind of jumping in and you fall in love with this woman in 2 days, right? But there's so much that goes into it, so many meaningful conversations, and it was the scene where we had the Halloween party and Katie and I were talking. I could see from a viewer's perspective how it could be like,
mm.
well, this came out of nowhere, but no, we did really, really connect, and that's just an interesting part is we don't fall in love in one day.
Yeah, you're there for hours. You have like a whole schedule where you're in all these different pods. Was
Yep.
it fun for you to date behind the wall and date this way? How does it kind of differ from how you date in the real world?
It was a great time. I'm not gonna lie. The re- what I loved about it is, everything's kind of face value when you meet someone. Everything's first impressions and how you dress, how you look, what car you pull up in. You can get rid of all of that, right? And you can match with someone who you never would have gone up to a bar and talked to, or you
Mm,
never would have thought was your type. And so that's the interesting part is I'd never really dated, never really been in love. And so it was new to me, but I knew exactly kind of what I was looking for and what I had to offer. And it's kind of just talking to the women and kind of narrowing it down. And like for me on the show, like I come across kind of flirty and I say some funny things. I'm sarcastic, but that's how I am.
mhm,
I like to keep it
mhm.
light. I like to joke around. I meet a bunch of new people every day for real estate and stuff like that. So it was authentic and it was genuine and it was really fun and easy for me to kind of just chop it up with these women like a Caesar salad.
Yeah, yeah. No, you came across pretty likable, but I guess like there was times where you came across a little villainous too. Like, I mean, it's just a show, but like, how did you kind of feel the way you were portrayed on TV?
Every movie has to have a villain or a bad guy,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I think it's funny because I've got a lot of comments like, "Hey, you started off, I didn't like you," or "I didn't think I was gonna like you," and at the end, you were my favorite. Um, I guess it goes to show that like I do have layers to me. I do have depth, and it's like peeling an onion. Like once you get to know
Hmm.
me, like I never really opened up and been vulnerable and talked about certain things. And that's one part that I really learned about myself is like being open with your partner and the people you love, but with yourself too. Kind of doing a really deep dive and that experience really forced me to, take a step back and be like, okay, let's get this shit right.
I will say that your scenes with Hannah were some of my favorite of the season. I was highly entertained. I love the TikTok skits even more,
Yeah.
of when the people imitate Hannah and they're like, Nikki, pasta.
Nick,
Like, have you
it,
seen those TikTok skits?
yeah, it's
Oh my
Nick.
God.
It's Nick, N-Y,
Nick,
N-Y-E-E-E-C-K,
Nick,
no.
you don't know how to boil pasta? Nick, how you gonna pay your bills? Nick. Like, there's
you
a few of them that I've been watching like over and over.
Yeah, no, there's some really funny ones. And like I said, I keep it light. I'm having fun with it. When I was watching the episodes, I wasn't going too deep into it. It wasn't that deep. I was just, it's reality TV and it's a show, right? They edit and produce how they want it to. And so I just had a lot of fun with it. And yeah, I've seen those videos. So
Mhm.
you got to make one now
I
because
guess
that
so
voice,
too.
that accent's pretty good.
Nick.
Your brain, I'm getting PTSD now.
Are you guys are still friends though, right?
No, I've
No.
tried to. I've reached out. Um, I've offered support. You see me at the reunion, I kind of speak up for her.
Mm,
But eventually kind of enough is enough. I've given kind of good energy towards her and I've let her know that I'm here because it's a unique process and we went through it. But after the reunion, she blocks me,
mm,
and that's totally fine. I don't have a problem keeping friends. Um, so, she can do, what she wants to do and what makes her feel comfortable. But it was tough because we went through a lot together.
for sure. Yeah, give her time. You did your
I've given her a lot of time.
said did you feel like you said everything you wanted to say at the reunion?
Well, I did, whether it made it or not on the reunion
Mm,
is a different topic. But yeah, I did. And like, I'm not the type to throw shade back at you or insult you or kind of dip to your level. I wasn't raised that way. Like I'm a really good guy. I'm a gentleman. And so that's not the type of person who I am. I'm just gonna sit back and try and understand where you're coming from.
mhm. Who were you closest with from the show? Like, who do you still hang out and talk to?
Yeah, so I would say my, closest and favorites are Garrett, Taylor, Ty,
Mm,
and Ashley. I'm also friends with boys. Ramses and I have hung out.
mhm,
A lot of the women, like Marissa and Monica and Alex, the people who voiced, you know, or talked to me at the reunion. They all came up to me after and were like, Nick, we love you. Like, I love you and think the world of you. Like, you know why I said what I said, right? But that I think the world of you. And so there's only a few I hang out with, right? But I, honestly, everyone on the show is great. Like
yeah.
everybody's fantastic. It's a really good group of people.
Was the reunion the hardest part for you?
Honestly, yeah. I
Yeah.
got way more nervous waiting to come out at the reunion than any other scene. Meet my parents, even proposing, right? Like that was the second scariest, but the reunion was crazy because you walk in, it's like a full set. There's like a couple hundred people there. There's other people from previous seasons, and you're kind of on the hot seat, right? But we
Mhm,
filmed that for 6 hours, right? That reunion was 6 hours, and it's only like an hour and some change that they show. And so I just wish, they would have shown me talking about positive experiences and myself and good times and like, rather than kind of just coming at me like that. And also, some people had to be held accountable for their actions and how
mhm.
they treated me, and they weren't. So I think people see that and the viewers see it. And, the reunion was a lot of fun, but it was pretty scary. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, maybe it should have been live so that it would have been a little different, then they couldn't have cut things out, but then also, sometimes when things are live, like, you don't get a chance to speak because it goes too fast.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little more messy, but it's more
Mhm.
authentic, right?
Yeah. I did see that Netflix said they're not gonna do After the Altars anymore, so they used to do that back in the day where they would
Mhm.
have, like, 3 episodes, like, a year down the line. How do you feel about that?
I'm glad they would have done it if they would have asked. I think the world of Netflix and Kinetic, our team there, and it's unfortunate because I think that really provides context and perspective as to, hey, we haven't seen you in 2 years. Where are you? And you can see that people have changed and people are happy and have learned from the experience or still with their person. It's really cool to see kind of, after all the blow up and the show comes out, kind of where people are at, because you can see a
Mhm.
change in, their mannerisms, who they're with, whatever it is. So if they want to bring it back, and they know where to find me.
Yeah, some of them have been good in the past, like, some real good tea has happened at them. A couple of them were boring, so I don't know if
Yeah.
that's why, but
Well,
they do
yeah,
Perfect Match
we're here
now.
for the tea.
Yeah, that's true. But it also we kinda get that at the end of the season when, like, for example, Katie came back, like, other people come back for, like, a finale party, like, that's always fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the part I enjoy watching most on previous seasons, and I enjoy being at most is like the pool party or the Halloween party, because they bring people back who I've never met, I've never seen,
Mhm,
and you get to kind of see the other couples like in action and how they are together and stuff like that. So it's definitely a really cool scene, and you see people for the first time and meet people for the first time face to face. So it's interesting.
mhm. I love a party scene. I feel like that's when all the drama happens, and
It's been all the job, yeah, a couple drinks, start to say some things,
mhm. The
prompt,
confrontations, you're not seeing someone who you've seen in a long time, X is in the room.
people getting their feels on those, right?
Mhm. Would
Yeah.
you ever do Perfect Match?
I would be open to any show that kind of wanted to recruit me or ask me to apply. I'm not limited to just like shows on Netflix though. Like I would
Mm,
love to do Dancing with the Stars, right? I would love
mm,
to do Jimmy Fallon just shouted me out on his show. He did like a little skit, with Hannah and I, and I'd like to be on a show like that, or sports broadcasting, or The Bachelor, right? Like,
Oh.
I know it's outlandish and it's out there, but all of my kind of goals in life and what I work towards, they're hard to achieve, right? And that's why it
Mhm.
feels good when you achieve them. You're shooting for the stars, and that's kind of how I am, and kind of why I went on the show is like, yeah, I'm ready for love. Yeah, I want to find love, and I'm ready to test myself in this unique situation. Why not?
Well, the opportunities are endless, so we'll see.
I
We'll
hope
see
so.
what comes your way for
What
sure.
what what can you see? What show could you see me on?
On Perfect Match. I want to see you there, and I want to see Hannah there as well.
See, you just want the tea, don't you? You want the drama.
That's why do we watch reality TV?
Exactly. Hey, you get it. You get it.
I mean, I like to be entertained, and
Mhm.
I like good love stories and a good heartfelt stuff too. But it's also really funny as well.
It is.
So,
Yeah.
it,
Well, who knows?
yeah,
They know where to reach me.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. What has life been like after the show? Have you been, posting more on social media, like doing more traveling? Are you selling more houses? Like, what has kind of been the effect living more of a public life?
Yeah. So in real estate, I've gotten a lot of people reaching out on DM or whatever it is, commenting, asking for my help in selling their home, buying their home. And, I've gotten like 20 really good leads off that. And so that's been
Mhm.
really cool to see. Um, I mean, I've been posting a little bit more just because there's so many cool scenes and so many cool photos from that experience. And obviously, I have a bigger following, and so
Mhm.
that's been cool. I think the hardest part's just been to my schedule from day to day, like balancing out life. I'm someone who kind of likes to know what they're doing the next week or 2 months down the line, and there's a lot of uncertainty, that comes with this. I'm open to a lot of different things and pursuing different avenues, and I'm going to meet different people. So that's the part that's hard, is just balancing real estate and life, and everything that comes with the show. But
Mhm.
other than that, it hasn't really been different. I mean, people stopping in the streets asking for a selfie, like, I'm a cool guy. I'm chill. I'm
Mhm.
obviously gonna, be nice to you and take the picture. But um, I haven't changed. My life's changed a little bit, but I feel great. I'm thriving. I'm in a good spot.
Mhm. Are you selling, like, houses in the DMV area? Are you selling condos, apartments? Like, what do you focus on?
Yeah, so I do everything: condos, townhomes, right? Single family homes, investment opportunities. I do commercial as well. I do a lot of rentals as well. I'm
Mhm.
30 years old or about to be. And, when you get into business, all you really have is your sphere, whether that's your friends or the people you follow on Instagram. And, when I was 26, 27, people weren't really buying, right? It's tough to live around here,
Mhm.
as kind of similar market in Hollywood or LA. It's
Mhm.
tough. So now I'm starting to see like my friends and like my sphere and the people who follow me that are my age kind of make that next step towards home ownership. But I love doing rentals, right? Because it
Mhm.
means the same to me. The paycheck is different, but it means a lot to me. I show someone, hey, I'm going to be here with you every step of the way. And when you want to buy, I'll be the guy you come to because I did a good job. And so I
Mhm.
do I do really everything. Work with a bunch of different clientele and friends, so it's a lot of fun.
Have you learned how to make pasta?
I always knew how to make pasta. I was I'll tell you what, like I was a little on edge there. Like I'd been talking a lot, and there's a lot to get ready for that scene. And then also Hannah's brother was coming and she was preparing dinner. And
Mhm.
so, like, I wanted to do everything perfect for her. Like, I wanted her to tell me exactly how high to fill the water up, exactly, what to
I mean,
do,
she
how
had
hot.
high expectations. God forbid you boiled the pasta the wrong way.
And I'm just like, tell me what to do. Like, I want this to go well for you, right? I don't want, to have something go wrong and then you blame me, because I
Mhm.
didn't listen to instructions. I wanted it to go well, and I knew how important it was to her. And so, that's kind of why I was asking the questions that I did. But hey, fill the damn pot up with water, right?
Mhm.
Halfway, three quarters, turn that stove on hot, get it going.
And then you wait till it bubbles before putting in the pasta, right?
Think that's three easy steps, right?
Yeah, you got this. Now, it was like I said earlier, it was some of my favorite scenes seeing you and Hannah,
Yeah.
disagree. And I don't even think either of you was wrong. I just think you guys were not meant to be together. Hopefully you guys can be friends one day. But there was just no way you guys were going to make it to the altar, right? Like you did not expect to actually get married, did you? Is that too
I mean,
complicated of a question?
it's complicated because in the pods, yeah, I
Mhm.
thought I found my person. And then the second part is actually physically being with someone, living in the same space. How do your routines mesh? And so, like, she says on the show, like, I haven't been having fun. I'm stressed out. Like, and even her parents say that. And the Hannah that I fell in love with was fun and energetic and bubbly and didn't throw shade and was nice and flirty. And I didn't see that side of her. And so it was hard. I'm like, I can't be uncertain getting up to the altar. I can't be
Mhm.
uncertain bringing my closest friends and family here. I have to be 110% sure. And so, obviously we were mature enough to call it off. And hindsight's 2020, but we weren't for each other.
Mhm.
But there was definitely, coming out of the pods, I thought I found my person. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, it's better you called it off before you had a runaway bride situation too, even though that would have been good for
What about
us.
what? I can't run away.
Runaway groom.
There you go. There
It
you
would
go.
have been a runaway groom. I don't know. Have we seen that on Love is Blind?
Yeah, not
Not
yet.
yet. Not yet.
No,
That
no.
was your chance.
I'm not the type of guy though who's gonna fly people out and tell
No,
people
for
to plan
sure.
around this and invite people there if I was just gonna say no at the altar.
Well, that's like what it seems like sometimes that like you have to make it to the altar. Like that's the concept of the show. So it really sucks for like the people who don't make it down the aisle, but like have the whole wedding. But then it's also like everybody gets a free party and get to go on TV. So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like every day you learn so much about yourselves as a couple and yourself. And so, I think we broke up 8 days before our wedding. Like those 7 days leading up to the wedding, you can grow so much as a
Mhm.
as a pair, and there's so much you figure out and do every day. And so that's why I kind of kept that open mindset. Like, hey, I'm here. I'm gonna do this the right way.
For sure. Are you going to Art Basel this year?
Actually, might be. Yeah. Are you? Are you?
I mean, I feel like I want to now. I mean, I'm asking everyone this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I actually have family in Miami, so I go a couple times a year. And so I've never been to Art Basel, but I would love to go. I'd love to bring a couple cool fits. I'd
Hmm.
love to, hang out with some cool people, see some great artwork,
Yeah,
enjoy the
I
sun.
want to see. I want to see the whole Love Is Blind cast at Art Basel this year.
Well,
That's
yeah,
what I want to see,
yeah.
or a few of y'all.
I'm sure you can expect Leo,
Hmm.
maybe Brittany. You can expect me because I think I'm going. I will let you know. I'll keep you posted for sure. You
Okay,
guys stay
perfect.
tuned.
No, I'm gonna follow you on Instagram after this. I might even let you sell me a home.
Hey man, it'd be a lot of fun. I'll tell you that. Like, I'll be with you every step of the way. I'll put my neck out for you. I'm gonna fight for you. Uh, but it's gonna be a fun time.
For
That's
sure,
that's why that's why I like doing this because it's so different than a normal job.
for sure. Are you still living at your parents' house?
No,
Oh,
I
big
was just waking
news.
up and I got my own place here. I got like this pretty cool view. You see
That's
it?
sick. Yeah.
DC's kind of like right over
Hmm.
here. Um, but no, I mean, I was just being financially responsible. I look at numbers, all the time for real estate and help clients out. So, I guess it was time, but I could have bought, a year or two ago, right? I could have gotten my
Yeah.
own place a while ago, but it's just my parents are great.
Yeah, I understand
They're a
that.
blessing, and my mom makes good Cuban food. So,
Hmm.
it was like, why wouldn't I stay here? I'm blessed that they have a great place for me to stay at, and I'm just going to save up money.
For sure. And you had your own like whole area, your whole basement. And like if you love your parents, like I totally understand that. Like you get along with your parents, you want to see them every day. Like why not live with them?
I don't want to see them every day, but that
Yeah.
comes with living with them. No, but it was great. I mean, I wouldn't do it any other way.
For sure. What was like your favorite part as we wrap up about the experience and about the show? Maybe like a funny moment or a funny episode or just something really cool you got out of it.
Yeah, a couple things. Two things in Mexico. One was the duck riding. I mean,
Hmm.
hey, who didn't like that? What love
Yeah.
the duck. That was a lot of fun. And then we also went bungee jumping, and I'm scared of heights. That's like my biggest fear. Overcoming that fear, like with Hannah at the time, and going through that, like it was emotional,
Mm.
to do all that. There's a lot of feelings that go into it. Like I was very emotional, so that was really cool. And then I would say, the time I had the most fun, um, and I learned the most just about the process and myself was in the pods. Um, just being able to kind of meet the men and not have your phone and be present and talk about things that are really important and that I never talked about and finding a connection. I mean, that was so much fun. Like there was so much uncertainty, but uncertainty is kind of where you grow as a person in life, putting yourself in those spots. So
Yeah, I love it. Well, you were
definitely, I was going to say definitely not when I was getting peppered with questions at the reunion.
yeah, yeah, that was tough. And
But
the duck thing was tough for you too in Mexico.
hey, that was a lot of fun. I wouldn't do it any other way, and I got tough skin, so I can handle all that stuff, right?
Mhm.
Like I said, I'm doing great mentally, physically. I'm thriving. So
I love it. I'm glad to see you in a good place. You were a joy to watch on the show. You gave us a lot of good material. Like I said, the TikTok skits made me laugh until I couldn't laugh anymore. So, I mean, you gave me a lot of joy. So I'm glad you went on the show. Thank you for coming on here and spilling some tea.
of course, well, I'll see you at in Miami,
I'll
Zach.
see you at Art Basel.
Sounds good, my man. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Talk to you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
And thank you all so much for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up and hit subscribe. See ya.